Again, my name is Mamie Yang. I'm the director here at the Henry Waldinger Library in Valley Stream, New York. Our guest speaker is John Urgo. He's a sculptor and artist, and his work has been on exhibit here at the library. This program was made possible with funds from the Decentralization Program, a regrant program of the New York State Council of the Arts, with the support of the governor of New York and the New York State Legislature. And it was administered by the Huntington Arts Council. So what we have been doing over the past couple of years is feature Valley Stream through the arts. I know that there are many talented people here in Valley Stream, and this grant gives us an opportunity to highlight some of their achievements and also to give them a small stipend because artists should not be all starving and have no money, but it's a small stipend. So we're going to get started. John, do you want to say a few words before we get these PowerPoints going?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Me as an artist, I've been doing this since I'm a little kid. I was 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. I love to create things. I live across the street from I used to be a florist. And I'd wait by the window and I'd see the delivery and they put the boxes out and I'd make a fort out of it, make a house out of it. Just create something, you know, cut a big piece and make a map. You know, I lost you, Amy.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
We can see you and we can still hear you, John.
Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, I loved doing this as a kid. You know, I used to love art and painting and finger painting, and you know, my mother always encouraged me, so that was a good thing. You know, she thought it was like a hobby or something. You know, but it's fun. It's fun. You know, you just you can create inside, outside. I do the garden. Everything is creative in life. Right? How you dress. How you go about everything is creative, you know.
Okay, so we're going to start the PowerPoint presentation, and John will be talking about some of his works. And if you'd like to ask him questions, I think he'll be glad to talk to you about it. So just give me a moment to share the screen.
Okay.
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 Okay. So this is the title page. I want to get that up there. So he calls a lot of his work rescued art.
Yes. Yeah, I create a lot of these particular ones. The one on the right is the heads are sculptured, and I also did the wings out of paper. And the one on the left is more plastic, and I did the sculpture. I had a friend of mine who passed away, and I made something like that. And I've made it for many friends, actually. Death in a family or spouse or whatever, and I seem to really like it. So I've been continuing with that. You know, it's a nice thing to do. Really makes it a little unique, and they can take it home with them. You know, so. It's a little sad thing, but it's a nice thing. I enjoy doing it. You know, not that you know, their illness or death, but it's nice. It's a nice feeling when they take it home and they say I loved it and cry a little bit. You know, it's nice. I think I have a fire in the background. Can you hear that?
I can hear that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as long as
on the next slide.
Yes. All right, get your kicks on Route 66. That is like a steampunk type thing. I started working with a lot of hubcaps, and that is actually my garage. I just find broken things in the road, a car accident. I'll take a piece. I'm like a little scavenger, you know. And you can make some nice things with it. That's how I went about making the Eiffel Tower that's on display in the Valley Stream Library. It's interesting, you know. It's always remember you don't have to be like, you know, a classical Leonardo da Vinci artist. You know, you can use any way, time, place, anything, plastic, and just create with it. You know. Yeah. All right, put the next one. Okay, again, the one on the left is steampunk. And the one, and you can see kind of like some hubcaps and the one on the right. I like to do the holidays. That one I do. I do a lot of stuff in front of my house also, and at the Pagan Fletcher Historical Society house in Valley Stream. It's fun. It's fun doing different. They're just doing a little different, you know. I do almost every type of art except painting, which is the most popular. I can paint, but I can't paint. That's all, you have to understand that, or be a painter. You know, I mean, obviously I do a lot of little detail work and whatnot, but the, it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun. All right, next one. Okay, that's you know, on the left you see I get a lot of bottles and I paint them from the inside and I put some lights and whatnot. And I've been fascinated the past few years. I found out about Chihuly, who does a lot of glass art. You know, I don't know how to blow and function, so I use plastic. All right. The one on the right, I want an art exhibit with that. That's a butterfly, and there's some faces there of some people who did not survive the Holocaust. And this was kind of the rebirth. And you know, it's one of my more poignant things. But I like doing stuff like that. All right, next one. Some more stuff. The one on the left is my fence in front of my house. I mean, I get a lot of people that stop their car, they get out, to take pictures. I made a lot of friends that way too. I love doing artwork in Valley Stream on the curb and on the fence because I've gotten to know almost all my neighbors, all the little kids. I save some goodies for them at times. And you know, the other one looks like it's exploding with color, which I like also. You know, there's so many ways you could do things, you know, like you know, like they say, 9 ways to skin a cat. Is like 10 million ways, really, when you think about it. All right. All right, the one on my left, that's my little tiger. I mean, I wanted to make a calendar, and I found some broken one, and I kind of fixed it up, and I did this, put a cat sculpture on the left, and tiger on. That's my real cat on the right, and it's funny. It took me longer to get him to pose. He posed like instantly, but I wanted to make some repairs and make it, you know, embellish it a bit. And I can never get him to pose like that again. It just seems that he takes off. And on the right, that is, again, that's a recycled, found it on the curb, and I painted it and kind of spruced it up, made it a little Christmassy, like a gingerbread house. And it was on the exhibit for like a couple of months, well, actually, it was 2 years because of COVID, at the Pagan Fletcher house, which I'll be putting again. And if you see me, I'll tell you how to do it. You could make that for like $10. You know, it's really it's inexpensive, and the kids love it. Kids love it. All right, next page. Oh, that's my living room. That's not me in the red suit, though. Okay, but I have worn that at time. And there's another angel. I like angels, you know. I think when I die, that's what I want to be, is I want to be a guardian angel. I think on here on earth, it's just a, you know, a rehearsal for that. And I would like to become an angel.
John, can I interrupt you for a minute? How
Yes.
are all those things hanging from your ceiling?
Little tacks and little, yeah. And one is hooked onto the other, so it's a little different, you know. But and that's about a quarter of what I had hanging up. You know, I like to make a lot of them too, and I paint them, and I just I go to a thrift shop and get these little plastic balls and put wire through them and paint them, and you know, make a display. You know. Remember, I did a couple of displays at the library like that once, and with miniatures and just boxes of candy and whatnot, you know. And I don't throw away anything. All right, next page. Billie Holiday on the left. The Queen, blues. Incredible, incredible. Had a hard life, but she's remembered, and she's a fabulous singer, you know. And on the right, one of the meanest guys around, the Captain Hook.
Wait, John, did you make the Billie Holiday?
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
I've made Billie Holiday. I made Louis Armstrong. I made Martin Luther King. Matter of fact, I got him. Can you see that?
We can see it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
that's
Louis.
Yeah. Interesting thing about Louis Armstrong is I met him. I met him and got his autograph. I met him at Jones Beach Theater when I was a little kid. I met Guy Lombardo, and I walked over, and Louis had a little booth at the Maxwell House Theater, and he said, "Hello, kid, how are you?" It scared the hell out of me. A very nice man, and the king of jazz. The king of jazz.
Wow.
When you say you make them, do you buy the mannequin and just make the head and the costumes, or?
No, it depends. When I do all clay, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. I mean, it could be like 30, 40 pounds. So I do it in a way, I put some styrofoam there to lighten it. And then I build around it, you know. I've actually seen a couple of videos on how they do it at Madame Tussauds. And they do the same thing. It's funny, I put the head on a pole, like a dowel. And I said, gee, that's kind of like archaic. That's how they do it too. And what they do is they make them a double mold, so they can get behind the face and put, you know, very expensive glass eyes, and have somebody who could stitch in the hair, you know. And like where I can do for something like $200, they go about $2,200. So. You know, but it's I don't quit until I make it looks like the real person, and that's kind of my secret. I really stick to it until I did President Obama. It took me 2 weeks. I did Martin Luther King, 2 months, a little over 2 months. It's just a hard picture. Yeah,
These would be great.
do.
Do you ever do the Beatles?
No, I never did the Beatles. No, I'd like to do. I keep deciding whether I'd like to do the Beatles in what era. You know, like Sgt. Pepper, or maybe the early Beatles with the collarless shirts and everything. You know, and it's kind of a commitment because you got to do all four.
Well, you could just do John.
Yeah,
like 1968. You know, very psychedelic.
Let me tell you something. When you make these life size, they take a lot of space. They take a lot of space.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. But I've done some. We celebrate President's Day over at the Pagan House, so I do a lot of the presidents. I just did finished Teddy Roosevelt, George Washington, and when I completed, I just got to put it together because I had Abraham Lincoln. Is Abraham, Martin, and John. Wow. Yeah, life sized.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a pop-up store for Green Acres, where we could have like a display there. So we'll see. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Also, I've done a lot of aviation people. I've done Amelia Earhart and Charles Lindbergh. Yeah, Lindbergh is at the Valley Stream Library, matter of fact.
Wow. Where do you keep all these? Like in the basement, the garage?
Don't ask. My house is like, not only that, I mean, I don't have a studio. I do a lot of my work in the bathroom because it has the best lighting. All right.
Wow. I've been in your bathroom. It's not that big.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It gets smushed up pretty quickly. You're lucky. Cool. You got a studio.
I know. Well, it's a room. Small room, but bigger than a bathroom.
Yeah. Paintings don't take that much space. Large things do, you know.
But these are incredible. This is great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun too. As you know, you really enjoy it. You know, when people love your stuff and little kids come up and they, wow, you know, I like that. You know, so it's good. It's good. Yeah. All right, another page. Yeah, it is Teddy. Oh, there's Louis. I forgot I had Louis on this reel. Yeah, yeah. I have John F. Kennedy at the library also, and like I said, that's a little bit of an older picture, but I do have Abraham, Martin, and John. You know, Louis. I tried trumpet. I couldn't do it. My cousin actually, Jack Patty, was playing trumpet at like 5 years old. But I bought a trombone. It's been about 5 years. I've gotten 2 notes out of it. Yeah. But no music. I don't know, but I don't think do you have any musical talent?
I don't.
No, I don't either. I just never, no, I just can't, it doesn't go with me. It's not mine, you know, forte. That and mechanical. My father could take a car apart, put it back together again, blindfolded. Me, I changed the tire, I put it backwards, you know, it just, it's not me. But, you know, he didn't like art, you know, he wasn't a creator. He'd paint every wall white if you give him the, you know. But everybody's like that. They all have their fortes and their, you know, like you know, like you Mamie, you're brilliant in your own way, you know. Yeah, yeah. All right, flip the page. That was a what do you call it? Last year, no, well, you know, it gets confusing with the years because of the COVID, but that was about 3 years ago. We did Halloween there, you know, and since then I've added Bela Lugosi, I've added Frankenstein, I've added Edward Scissorhands. So yeah, we used to really tone it down a bit. We didn't want to scare the kids, you know. But kids are not they're not as easily scared though. They love it. They love it, you know. But may scare an adult, you know. Who knows? But yeah, that's a lot of fun. A lot of times, like I say, people throwing out dolls, and I take them and I paint the eyes a little different, a little spookier, put a little hair here, get an outfit and cheesecloth, and all of a sudden you got a doll. You know, and it's so much you could do really with stuff that people just you know, just throw out. They just throw out and go, or you I go to a lot of garage sales. You know, you know, it's funny. I bought a really nice coat. It's oh, I forgot the name of it. But it's a really nice designer coat, and it's the only thing that fit Abraham Lincoln. So it's been on him for like 4 years. I haven't worn it once, not once. You know, but yeah. But all right, next page. That's another thing I do. I love the holidays. Oh, this just breaks my heart. This really breaks my heart. This I made for Thomas Balva. If you look on the top of the bow, the top thing, it's a picture of him. And I have that ribbon now at the library on my Eiffel Tower. He's the boy. We had a rally for him in Rally Stream just before, a week or two before COVID really exploded at the park, and it was Justice for Thomas. His father, this boy was handicapped too. His father locked him in the garage in February, I think it was, and the kid died. And I just had to feel, I feel like I should do a tribute to him. And you know, he's an adorable kid too. You know, I mean, how people do this is beyond me. Beyond me. But Valley Stream loves him. We had a lot of people turn out. I think we planted a tree in his honor, and the trial is moving along. And it'll have a just then. Mm. Okay. All right. Next page. Oh, there's the Eiffel. See, now you don't have to go to France. Dad, I just like I said, I get these little pieces and whatnot, and break this and to turn this, and people find it interesting. It's funny. I've done a painting or two, and I go, yeah, that's all right. But they look at my garage and I go, wow.
I'm glad you go to the
You
next
know?
one, so you see some detail.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little bit hard to photograph when you do stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm glad the kids like it and people like it coming in. It's just a little different.
But John, how do you keep that together? Is that with wire?
Wire, some hot glue gun, some wire most of the time, but and then some like paste, like it's a gummies type of stuff, and
Okay.
but I don't know how to weld. I'm not like what's his name?
Mr. Ray? No, who's the
Bob
teachers at
Dylan.
Memorial?
Bob Dylan does amazing steampunk like this, amazing, and as I said, that's one of his biggest hobbies, welding.
Yeah, he's a good
I
painter
never got,
too.
yeah, great painter too, a consummate artist. But since I use plastic, it's lighter, and I could affix it easier. I've tried. You'll kill somebody with if those pieces were still, metal.
What are the dimensions? I can't remember. It's pretty tall.
Well, it's a little shorter than the real Eiffel Tower. It's a little over 3 feet, which if Eiffel Tower is fantastic history in itself, I mean, I think that was the whole Eiffel discovered how to do, the framework in steel, which was a new thing rather than wood. You never notice everything that was wood is burnt down, but it's Eiffel Tower, no, yeah. I never been to France, but I will be,
It's a great
I think
place.
the furthest east I've been is Montauk Point.
We're going there tomorrow.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Yeah. Love the light tower. Yeah. Our next picture.
But that's it on the pictures.
That's it. Oh. Oh, all right. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I got stuff right over here. I got my friend Yogi, smarter than the average man. I did Jimmy Cagney. Jimmy Cagney is at the library, as is Eleanor Roosevelt. As in, I didn't bring Bob Hope. Old Skinos didn't make it this time. But I do a lot of things. I may start doing a Beatle, so yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I've done some hubcap art with Beatles. I got a little broken down thing, and I made a yellow submarine, and yeah, I did one for SpongeBob that the kids like. Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. Let me see if I have anything here. Oh, I got Tiger up. Wait a second. Yeah.
You can see things hanging from his ceilings there.
I know. Too bad he couldn't walk around his house with a camera. That would be cool.
So what is that, John?
That's a hubcap. I do a lot of holiday stuff. Yeah.
Now, when you say you do these things, do you sell them, or are you just doing it for a display?
Well, I've been starting to sell the flowers. Yeah, I have. Let me see. I have tons of flowers here. Yeah, I have a few at the library, and I make them out of plastic, and I can make them as colorful as I want, or I can make them, And these I'm going to be start selling. Yeah. At some flowers, some gift shops. Actually, I went the other day, and 7-Eleven was interested. They have nice flowers there, actually. Yeah, so we'll see.
Those are cool. Yeah, those are cool.
Was it cold?
No, I said those are very cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you
Like
very much.
Cerulli.
I saw my paint in a certain way. I started in with like a flow method, and you could do some nice things. And like I said, it's always nice to do something a little different. Like your work. I mean, it's so creative, That's why everybody loves it. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe we got through this.
Yes, yeah. So if you are not really, you have not been selling your work, this is a very expensive hobby. Then you said like $200 to do a figure.
Well, but that's for a life size. Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, like I said, Martin Luther King took me 2 months. 2 months. You know, I won't give up until it's good. It has to be at least good. I want it to be great, but it's got to be good. You know, you can go with, like, you know, just certain people have certain trademark things. You know, like Popeye, for instance, you just put a hat and a big arm and whatever. But no, you want it to make it look like the cartoons are very easy, by the way. I've done a lot of cartoons, because I collect cartoon figures and then lots you can't get, so I make them. You make them very easy to do, you know, because it's very smooth edges and everything. They just have a little button nose and
Yeah.
away, you know. I mean, I have so much stuff right here. I mean, it's amazing. You know, but it's fun. It's fun. You know, I love that, and sports and so many other things, and you know, it keeps me going.